Montana studios. This is NBC Montana Today.
Good morning, Montana. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jason Hirsch. As you pour your coffee and make breakfast, meteorologist Mitchell Coombs has the latest on a storm front he's closely watching. And we get you informed on local news and prepared to take on your Friday. Coming up, pushback from the public over a decision to close the maternity center at Providence St. Patrick Hospital in Missoula. The petition circulating and the number of signatures collected so far. Plus a federal court hearing on a center for asbestos-related disease. What the future holds for the center. And crews battling multiple wildfires around the region. How the forecast could impact their efforts to fight the flames.
We have a severe weather threat for today, and a big reason for that has actually been the increased moisture we've seen the last few days due to this southwesterly flow around this trough of low pressure. The one thing that's been lacking has been a good source of lift, and we're going to see that with this little spin that's now moving into the Pacific Northwest. As it moves into our region, that'll spark off thunderstorms that could become intense very quickly, especially down in southwest Montana. Bozeman, we are likely to stay dry through about lunchtime. Temperatures up to around 72, but it's as we get into the early afternoon, we're going to see those thunderstorm chances increasing. Temperatures up to around 81 degrees and those percentage of chance of precipitation around 80%. We have a slight and now an enhanced risk for parts of southwest Montana, with those impacts being gusty winds and large hail. We'll time them all out with the help of Future Tracker here in 20 minutes.
We start with local news that's causing quite a stir. A new petition calls for Providence St. Patrick Hospital in Missoula to reconsider a decision to close the maternity center. Right now, the petition already has over 300 signatures as people express their concern over the upcoming closure. Organizers say the closure threatens maternal health care access and could create a gap in local birthing services. Signers claim their main goal is to gain transparency, dialogue, and commitment to accessible care. In the meantime, community medical center leaders announced in a memo the Missoula Hospital will suspend certain gender-affirming care services next month. Those with dysphoria who are 18 and under will no longer have access to medical and surgical treatments. This suspension will go into effect on July 1st, with services for adults 19 and over remaining in place. Administrators say their top priority is to ensure a smooth transition of care for those impacted. The hospital says they will work with patients in the transition of care. On Thursday, a federal court hearing was held in Missoula regarding a nonprofit that provides services for asbestos-related disease in Libby and what the future holds for the center. NBC Montana investigative reporter Bowen West breaks down the proceedings.
In May, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office closed doors on the Center for Asbestos-Related Disease, or CARD, due to an asset seizure in a $3.1 million lawsuit owed to the BNSF Railway. In a series of litigation before this, BNSF was found partially responsible for the spread of asbestos in Libby. But more than 300 diagnoses made at the clinic were determined to be fraudulent. The railroad brought that case on behalf of the federal government and was awarded a portion of the $6 million settlement. CARD filed for bankruptcy, but was allowed to continue operating. In fact, they received a $3 million federal grant last fall. That's until the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office shut down the center in May. The organization's attorney argued the railway seizing the assets as they did was a violation of the bankruptcy settlement. Their attorney wanted to place a temporary restraining order on the seizure. Lawyers representing the railway said BNSF received no payments before May and had no choice but to enforce what was owed, going on to say they want accountability for CARD. Current and former staff of CARD had their own attorney who said they were simply doing their job. Controversial addition to the hearing. The United States government wanted to be involved on the side of CARD, saying many of the assets seized are property of the government because of grant money. The judge was confused why the government, which was defrauded by CARD, wouldn't want to see judgment. Judge Dana Christensen ended the hearing by saying his ruling will make some attendees happy and very unhappy. He stressed that he would not stand in the way of his previous judgment on the case. His decision will be released at a later date. Make sure to visit NBCMontana.com for my complete coverage of this case. Reporting in Missoula, Bowen West, NBC Montana.
I want to introduce you to a mother and daughter who have been through it all. Their story is inspiring. Michaela was born with Aicardi syndrome. Michaela is nonverbal, has no use of her limbs, relies on her mother for everything. Doctors said Michaela wouldn't live beyond 1 year old, but she's now 34. Sabrina was once a single mom, asking questions like, God, why me? But their love and bond is unmistakable, and Sabrina is very protective of her daughter. Michaela needed a specialized bed, so Sabrina wrote to politicians, anyone who would listen. Lawyers were involved, and all Sabrina got were no's. So the mama bear kicked in, and she kept up the fight.
Michaela's had seizures. That's obviously how she was diagnosed, but there was a time when Michaela was having over 100 seizures a day. And you know, the scary thing about a seizure is it's more brain damaging. The more seizures you have, and that's where I could possibly lose her. So through her seizures, controlling them, they got harder. Grand mal seizures, they're uncontrollable. And then that's when she would wake up in the night where, you know, with the bed, and that's why I wanted that sleep safe bed, you know, and that's where it started with my journey of fighting for that bed for Michaela.
Be sure to tune in Monday morning at 6:30 as we tell Sabrina and Michaela's story. A journey that began with mother and daughter helping each other to now assisting thousands of special needs kids in the Flathead Valley with their charity, Michaela's Miracles and Blessings. A story you'll only see here on NBC Montana. Be sure to tune in at 6:30 Monday morning. Avelo Airlines took flight Thursday with the return of nonstop service between Kalispell and Los Angeles. Fares start at $72. Avelo operates this route twice weekly on Wednesdays and Saturdays, utilizing Boeing Next Generation 737 aircraft. Travelers can make reservations at aveloair.com. When it comes to renting in the Treasure State, the waiting list for Section 8 Housing Choice Vouchers opens to applicants next month. The Federal Rental Assistance Program is available for people and households with a low income. The State Department of Commerce says another option for renters is the Moderate Rehabilitation Program. Both waiting lists open at 8 a.m. on July 1st. A link to learn more is available on our homepage, NBCMontana.com. Yellowstone National Park announces May as the busiest on record for visitor numbers. And new numbers show the park hosted over 566,000 recreation visits in May. This is up 8% from last May and 20% from May of 2021. Officials say 2021 still holds the record for the year with more than 4.8 million visitors. But the park already hosted over 762,000 visitors so far this year, which is up 6% from this time last year and 17% from 2021. Fire crews are reining in the Hilger Valley fire near Helena. DNRC reports the fire is now 77% contained after burning close to 300 acres. A containment line is fully established around the entire perimeter. 2 helicopters are cooling hotspots with bucket drops, and firefighters are mopping up. Officials say the fire is human-caused. Officials report a new fire started near Sealy Lake, and it is now fully contained. Spotted early Tuesday morning, the Double Arrow Fire is 9 miles east of Sealy Lake near Cottonwood Lakes. Crews are now mopping up and will continue to monitor the area. Lightning sparked the fire. NBC Montana is always working for you to cover wildfires in our area. For complete wildfire coverage throughout the summer, stay with NBC Montana on air and visit NBCMontana.com for wildfire warnings, maps, evacuation details, and all the other information you need to stay safe during wildfire season. And make sure to follow us on social media for the latest updates. And we now visit with meteorologist Mitchell Coombs. And Mitchell, we're all concerned about this potential severe weather, but it is Father's Day weekend. We want to venture out, maybe go see some state parks, national parks. Are we going to be able to do that?
We will be able to do that. We are going to see those thunderstorms off and on throughout the day, but overall I think this weekend is shaping up to be pretty nice. Starting off Glacier National Park, we will see those showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Very isolated in nature. Temperatures around 74 degrees for Friday, 77 Saturday, 79 on Sunday. Looking at mostly clear to partly cloudy skies in most cases. As for West Yellowstone and Yellowstone National Park, we'll have a better chance, I think, of some thunderstorms today. 76 degrees for Friday and Saturday, but up to 80 degrees on Sunday, though those winds will be on the gusty side. Jason?
Mitchell, and coming up, President Trump sent in the National Guard to L.A. California took it to court. A federal judge made a ruling, and then the appeals court stepped in. We'll get you all caught up. Plus, measles cases are on the rise in Montana. Hear from health experts about the dangers and what you can do to prevent the spread. But first, let's take a live look over Missoula above TV Mountain at Snowbowl. Meteorologist Mitchell Coombs has your day planner right after the break.